Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. One of the more common experiences that I've had with families of those living with dementia is to listen as they express their distress and even embarrassment over the behavior of their loved one. It might be the dad that historically was so kind and would never hit anybody, and now he's slapping at his caregivers. And the family's embarrassed and saying, "We don't know what's going on. This isn't our dad." It might be the family that's embarrassed that their mom, who was always reserved, even a little bit shy and timid, is now swearing like a sailor. Why does that happen? It's easy to chalk it up to things like Alzheimer's disease or Lewy body dementia or a traumatic brain injury. But what is actually going on? I've said many times before in the Caregiver Minute that behavior is not only communication, but it's an outward manifestation of what's going on the inside. So today I want to talk a little bit about our two brains and how they develop and how they work together. The first brain is the feeling brain. The second brain is the thinking brain. And it's the feeling brain that is most developed when we're first born. The feeling brain, the limbic brain, controls all of our basic functions, our ability to eliminate waste, our ability to breathe, our heart rate. It also controls our stress response. It controls our ability to smell things and taste things. These are basic functions that are necessary for life. It allows us to react when something is frightening. An important fact about the feeling brain is that it has no capacity for language. Language is a higher order skill that's part of the thinking brain. Now, the thinking brain develops very slowly over time. You've probably heard of the prefrontal cortex. That's the thinking brain, and it develops over many years. In fact, for most people, the thinking brain isn't fully developed until somewhere between the ages of 25 and 30. And women develop a little bit faster than men in most cases. The role of the thinking brain is to basically be the governor. It's to keep other things in check. When we have an impulse to react in a particular way, the thinking brain is what allows us to tamp down that impulse. We might think of a nasty word that we want to say to someone, and our thinking brain realizes, that's probably not a good idea. We don't want to pick a fight here. We're not going to say that. But when a family says, "I'm so embarrassed that my dad is hitting people. He's never hit anybody." Often I'll say, "Yeah, he has hit people before. He was just 3 years old when he did it." It was back when the thinking brain wasn't working so well, and the feeling brain just reacted. Think of the way that little children respond. If they don't like the way that their clothes are feeling when they're touching their skin, they rip their clothes off and they run around without them because they don't have the governor, they don't have the thinking brain saying, "Hey, it might not be such a good idea to run around naked right now." When they feel an impulse to hit something or to bite something or to kick something, they simply react to it. And they're not conscious of it. They can't sit there and tell you, "I think I feel like biting something and I'm just going to do it, like it or not." This is because of brain development, and when someone is living with dementia and the feeling brain is running the show and they don't have as much access to the thinking brain, things go askew. And it is the result of deterioration in the brain, but I think it's pretty valuable to understand at a little bit deeper level what's really going on. When we're in the dark about something, it's easier to be afraid of it. When we start to understand that thing and we realize what's going on, we can wrap our heads around it. It's easier to make decisions. It's easier to figure out what would be helpful in that situation because we're less likely to be responding with a stress response ourselves. So thanks for taking the time to learn just a little bit more about the brain and how it works, particularly when it's deteriorating. I hope this is helpful to you, and I appreciate you sharing the Caregiver Minute with anyone else who you know may benefit. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.